Well, in today's video, I've got a little story about, well, you'll recognize it pretty quickly into it, and I don't know who needs to hear this or not, but you're honestly, all this pain you're going through, all this suffering, it could always be worse, right? So, not sure who needs to hear this, but apparently there's a lot of people out there that are, and well, it's not just apparent, it's prevalent that a lot of people out there believe that no one cares about them and that they are suffering alone, and that, well, that they were wronged too many times. All right, now, a man was arrested and sentenced to being nailed on a cross till death. He was as they were driving, and here's the ironic thing, he didn't do anything wrong. As they were driving the nails into his hands, he looked up and said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." As they drove them in the nails into his feet, he again said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." He was starved to death. 40 days and 40 nights on that cross. Every time the cross was had been risen, he would, and never once did he ever get angry. He calmly would state, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And he, as the cross rose, and when people say Christ is risen, it bothers me, because it wasn't Christ that rose, it was the cross holding him that rose. And every time that the cross had been put up, perfectly plumb, he looked up and said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The pain so great, he said it under tears of pain, not of sadness, not of sorrow. On the 40th day, after starving to death, he had been, his body had begun to shut down. It had been shutting down for a little while, and he looked up and said, "Father, I know my time has come. I am coming to join you once again, this time forever." As that cross was up there, his body shut down the last final little bit. The blood poisoning from his internal organs having shut down and begun to rot went through him, and he had said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Several hours later, he had said on his final day, "Father, they couldn't break me. I'm coming to join you once again. They may have destroyed my body, but they could not destroy my spirit." And he looked up. Now, understand this, before the cross had been risen on the 40th day, they drove a halo of thorns into his head. And he had continued to state, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And those thorns had been on his head since the start. And every day, as they drove those thorns just a little deeper, he would state, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And he always stated it calmly. On the 40th day, he knew his time had come. He knew. And he looked up one last time and said, "Father, they were unable to break my spirit. Though they had destroyed my body, they could not destroy my spirit." And his final words were, "Father, my time has come. I am coming to rejoin you forever." He died right up there on that cross in more physical agony than I could ever imagine. As he hung there, the amount of tension on those nails. Imagine this. You have 3 times your body weight pulling on nails driven into your wrist. Your pain could always be worse. That is the story of Jesus Christ. It also annoys me when these church-going Bible thumpers, no offense, I understand, you do not understand, and I forgive you for you do not understand how you are portraying Jesus. I will calmly state that my lucky number has always been 13. No one will break my spirit. Some have come close, but not close enough. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and I can tell you that there ain't any horseshoes and there ain't any hand grenades. Which, that's kind of a stupid thing because, well, with horseshoes you either hit the spike or you didn't. There is no close. So in essence, close enough only counts in evil. And quite frankly, I am preparing for what you might ask. You'll have to find out in the days to come. Toot, 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 toot. Anyways, I'm not, you may be wanting to hurt yourself. You may be wanting to kill yourself, but please don't. I'm not trying to be negative here. I need you all to understand. Some people, they're just better off alone. And it really greatly bothered me that a woman said, "God told me that women were put on earth to help us men." That is not the truth. that is a deceitful little liar. I'm not going to say her name even though I know it. I'm just going to state this. When you're using God to try to get your way, it ain't going to freaking work when somebody really knows what God is about, what he is, how he does it, so on and so forth. Any mother freaking idiot who looks at any one individual as though they are God, that person's name is Kim Jong-un. And if you look at a person as though they are God, the one and only God, go to North Korea. You'll be pretty happy there because Kim Jong-un takes care of his own. And, yeah, do some research on what North Korea is really like. Oh, by the way, in North Korea, I would be considered a giant. What we consider here in America to be midgets. Unfortunately, those are the average height of most North Koreans. I know so because I have met some that fled and made it to the United States. For I know how to get my word across. I know how to make myself heard. When a woman forced her way into my apartment, I held her just like this. I stood calmly at my door, grabbed her coat, brought my arm like this and just held her just like this. Calm as could be. She was giving it all she could. However, she failed to realize I had the leverage. Here I am, only about $110. Here she was, almost 220 pounds. I know how to make myself heard. I know this because neither one of us had called the cops, and they showed up. Fortunately, before they showed up, she chose to exit my apartment. And she realized that what she had done was wrong, and I explained to the cop, as long as she can be civil and has learned her lesson, there is no need for an arrest. For an arrest, well, it would just be crucifying her much like Jesus. And the whole time, I looked at her, at the officers, and I said, "Officer, forgive them for, I forgive her for she knows not what she does." And I explained to him that I really would prefer not to have him do a lot of paperwork for an arrest. And quite frankly, I know that officers of the law do not enjoy arresting people, except for the bad ones. Because, nobody will ever have any idea how much paperwork is actually involved when a cop has to get physical. When they have to get physical, it really is a lot of work. Because then then they need to fill out a bunch of paperwork. And we all know paperwork is no fun. Paperwork has never been my fun thing. And no matter how much your job sucks, no matter how much you hate your job, understand this. You chose it. And try as you might, the only person you can honestly blame is yourself. You made that bed and you need to lay in it, or you need to do something about it. Start going job hunting if you really don't like it. I'm serious. If you do not like the way something is going, only you have the power to change what's going on about you. Okay? You know, downsize, do what it takes. For me, I'm not going too terribly far from here. There's no need. And today was the first solid freeze of the year. All is right here in this little town once again. As much as it sucks, it is what it is. There really is not much a person can do about much unless they do something actively about it. I'm Wilson, saying but not saying. It truly is only one person that can change your life, and that's you. We all have the power. We can all find God within ourselves. And as difficult as life may seem, no matter how old you are, you can always start over. Your assets and whatnot. Once you are on Social Security, and not many people understand this, you do qualify in most cases for tax exclusion. If I were all y'all, I'd think about that a moment. Retirement is Social Security. Okay, when you get on retirement and and it's Social Security retirement, it's not too late to progress in life. I can tell you right now, tax lawyers are worth it. Fully flipping worth it. And with that being said, no matter how much life gets you down, Jesus had it the worst. He really did. And though you may be upset and frustrated, and no matter who stole from you, just remember who did it, and don't let the dumbasses back in. Also, I'd like you all to understand that there's no need to be hateful. And You may think you're hurting those people that you're being hateful to on YouTube, but understand this. There really is no need to worry, no need to be afraid, no need to be upset because a comment, a thumbs down, a thumbs up, a share, they all count as interaction. And please, save the hate mail, because the only person you're hurting with it is yourself. You're wasting your energy, and when your mind and your body don't align, you'll never go up. We'll see you in another video. Good morning, my YouTube friends and family. An amazing young gentleman that I am subscribed to on YouTube hit the nail on the head when he said, it's so easy to fall into the trap of being overwhelmed. And you look around and you see your house a mess, and now it makes sense why women don't get much done in a day, is because they feel overwhelmed. And until you learn how to deal with yourselves, with just yourself, until you learn how to get your life in order and get everything going good and whatnot, and only then is it a good time to look for a woman. Only then, when your life is in order, it's been in order for a couple of years, and I look around, I see many signs of frustrations around me that I had all week, feeling overwhelmed, so much to do, so little time to do it. Those are all traps that are really easy to fall into. And with Sunday being tomorrow and Sunday going to be a day of rest, I need to just hunker down and just get stuff done and not worry, not allow myself to be frustrated. I know we all get frustrated at times. We all get overwhelmed, and we all work when we're overtired, and why are some people unemployable and why are some not employable? And it all kind of comes down to how your work ethics are. What leads up to most firings? Your work ethics start to slip, you start to fall down. And the truth of the matter is pretty simple. If you just worried about yourself and your own tasks and not take on too many assignments, not allow yourself to feel pressured, and just go about things calmly, not everyone's cut out to run their own business, but in the same breath, some people are really, truly better off running their own business. And, I have a pretty dang limited income. I really do have a lot of stuff that I do and put a lot of focus into, and I get discombobulated, and I don't like feeling that way, and The simple truth of the matter is we just need to slow down, one task at a time. I can tell you honestly that a call center, it's not a good place to work at. It really is not. You literally catch crap all freaking day. You catch crap from customers. You catch crap from coworkers. Just desk jobs, they really do suck. You get fat, you get lazy. And I saw that in my own dad when he took a desk job, and he wasn't happy. I wasn't. And it trickled down to myself. He looked to a woman to make him happy, and the woman just couldn't make him happy. And the woman was my mom, and it wasn't that they grew apart. It was that the desk job ruined their relationship. My dad would come home at the end of the day all stressed out, all tired, all worked up, and just brought his work home with him. My stepmom constantly did the same. She brought her work home with her, and she did work at home, never took time for herself, never took time to be with her own stepchild, other than sitting in front of a TV. Text, 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 text. Text, 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 text. Email, 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 email. Really annoying and really distracting. People don't realize how annoying and distracting the noises of their phone really do get. And, a few times I whipped out my phone and was crunching numbers because it was the nearest calculator I had. I had a clipboard in front of me. I looked at Lori. I said, Lori, can I please just get a couple moments to just focus on these numbers I'm crunching? I got to make sure our farm stays afloat. Text. Just give me a minute. Text. Type. Lori, please, I greatly would appreciate just a couple minutes of your fingers not flying on that keyboard. Text. And, it was really annoying. I saw that in every one of my relationships, all ramped up and running around and doing this and doing that. Cell phones, they're all around us. They're a distraction. I'm not saying that they're not a good thing, and I'm not saying they're not a bad thing. I'm just saying you must find balance, because when there is no balance, you and everyone around you are going to be frustrated. I look around, and I see the frustrations. I'll be back in the next scene. So many people get carried away with wanting to help. And, I saw that within my own elders today, and I explained to them that I do have a lot going on in my life at this time. I'm preparing for a lot, and I am definitely not going to be doing any bell ringing or any of that stuff for the Salvation Army because of the fact that I have enough on my plate at this time. I do plan on going to my church tomorrow, which is Sunday, and I definitely am working on getting my life in order, and I've had a lot of changes, and it's like nobody needs to be alone on Thanksgiving. I said, you're half right, half wrong, Grandpa. However, I cannot take on more than what I can handle, and I have to be selective in what I choose to take on. And I said, just keep it in mind. And he's an intelligent man, and I sat down. I guess I didn't necessarily sit down today. I was talking with another of my elders. She had said that I did have a lot of really good points about my late grandparents, and that, yeah, she did see a lot of that in them. And I wasn't necessarily, looking to be right or wrong. I was presenting my case, and a lot of people need to understand that if you want something in life, you need to present your case, especially with your elders. They're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you. They would prefer you to learn from their mistakes on that. This needs to go in the electrical box. They prefer to see people learn from their mistakes and whatnot, and that you know what? I do not use this Bluetooth very much. I'm going to send it and the cord off. So don't have as much burden to carry. And I never really liked that particular Bluetooth. However, it is helping me build my credit, and I'm just going to have to let someone else I'm just going to have to allow someone else to take that burden, because quite frankly, I didn't want it to begin with. It's doing its job as it sits there right now, and I'd rather see it get put to use. And I certainly appreciate that it is doing its job, even though it's not in my hand. Even though I'm going to be sending it off, I've realized that even though I haven't used it and it's doing its job, I just need to allow somebody else to carry that burden off. And I'm just working through my issues one day at a time. And that's all we really can do as people, is take everything one day at a time. What can I do today? Not what can I do this week? It's so easy to get carried away in the details, and I've learned that that elder I was speaking with today, yes, really does play devil's advocate quite well, and I do appreciate her for it. Alright, nothing in that box. That's going to get damaged. So I'll just save my energy. Instead of carrying it over there, I can toss it right into the box. This simply just needs to go over that way. And just take life one day at a time, one step at a time. Don't allow yourself to get too worked up. Actually, this can go in this drawer. This can go in this drawer. Let's just go there. I do not need these batteries. You know, a lot of people, they've got a number one downfall. The number one downfall being, well, I paid for it, so I have to keep it. Well, you know, once you've gotten your use out of it, truth be told, it's going to be better just to send it off. But before you send it off, think about this. Is there somebody who can benefit from this? Yeah, maybe it, you know, look at this. I repurposed one of my soda bottles into being, you know, I cleaned it out, obviously, and I got the top off and found a really great way to do so, and will happily show you in a different clip, of course, how to do so. And so many people, they just get caught up in the moment, and you know, it can honestly be a really bad idea. You need to think on that. I personally have done just about all that I am able to do with it. Alright. On to the next thing. You know, I see that 90% of this bin, I see that most everything I'm coming across in this bin needs to go in a different room. So So I'm going to leave all that there. Sometimes you just got to sit there and recognize facts. Just got to look at the facts. You just got to look at the facts. Because that which is not actively helping you is actively hurting you. And I honestly, I find comfort in teaching you all because you all, people don't understand the importance of knowing the Pythagorean theorem. And, a lot of kids, they go, well, where exactly am I going to be using this in the future? Well, when you go to find, the length of a triangle, when you go to find the hypotenuse of this right triangle, you'll be thankful you learned it. Well, that didn't show me value in it because I didn't see the value, even though it was drilled into my head. It stayed in there, though, because I kind of saw a little bit of value. And what I am here to do is show value in things and that you learn. I'm actually not going to take any responsibility for anyone else's actions. Don't even attempt to go around saying that I told you to do something, because that is not what I'm here to do. That is for you to decide what you do, and you're not going to be able to put the blame on me, because I have not told anyone anything, to do anything. Just keep in mind what I'm saying. There's life lessons involved here. You may not understand a lot of things in life. For example, you may not even need a toeman. You could just have your kids get out, tell them, hey, give it a push. And it's all about people help God helps those who help themselves. And the lesson in that lays within this. Okay? When you begin to do a lot of things on your own, you find God. Okay? However, it's very easy to get overwhelmed with all these people around you. You just need to explain to them, you are responsible for your room. If it's dirty, there's a reason behind it. Your task is to keep your room in order, and the value within it is a calming environment. Just simple things like that. Showing people value in what they do, and there's a lot of things in life to be learned, and a lot of things to understand, and life is a journey. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all day long. For those of you who know where that came from, clearly the reason I sang that line of that one. There's a lot of lessons within songs and stuff. It's just Understand this. If you do not understand, if you can't even understand the lyrics and whatnot, there really is no purpose in listening to the song. If you cannot actually sing the correct lyrics of the song, there's no point in listening to the song. If you can't understand the lyrics, but you like the tunes behind it, you really need to assess your life and whatnot, because, quite frankly, there's more to life than some dumb tune that part of the sound of it you don't even understand. They don't hear the drummer, they hear the band. And so many people hold a lot of people back. And there's absolutely there's no need to get roped into things. You allow things to happen, you need to do something about it. And I am sorting through my crafting supplies. Actually, you know what? I found that this right here is going to be the best tool for crafting. It's likely to occur in here. And I'm just gonna place various things in here. And now I need to move on to a different section of the room. And I'm gonna bring the camera this way. And that needs to go in my spare cord box. My sister hit the nail on the head when she said having a miscellaneous box is never a good idea. And, she was definitely right about that. And there really is a need to slow down in life. Like right there, I just looked up and saw my camera had fallen over. Actually, this is And it's just going through life, step by step. Most people would call me, people go, oh, you're gay, oh, you're this, and, oh, you're that, and, yeah, I'm bi, but you know what? Starting to turn just away from sex this, sex that. Just understand this. Just because people don't fit into your box does not mean that they don't fit into a different box. And that is literally what the government attempts to do all the time. People don't realize that when they're filling out government forms, it has nothing to do with what do you identify as. It is, what is it that is marked on your birth certificate? For example, nationality. If you were born here in America, just write, just check American. Simple as that. There's no need to overcomplicate it. It's kind of like this. On your birth certificate, does it say white or does it say Hispanic? If it says Hispanic, right? Check the box of Hispanic, non-white. People need to understand that they need to keep things simple. There's no value in overcomplicating anything. Who gets the best benefits in America? People that are white. It's just the sad fact of this country. White Americans. Now, if it says things like African American and stuff, that is if you are freaking dual citizenship. If you are in a dual citizenship, those boxes are for you. Or, for example, Mexican American, Spanish American, or another one is German American, or African American, or Chinese American. Typically what you see on the form are those that are acceptable. It's not complicated. People just make it out to be so. And nothing needs to be more complicated than necessary. And I see that I need to come back over here and I need to take my modem router, and on my modem, that needs to be disassembled. All right. Spare cord. I'm simply going to, I need to make a box of nothing but spare cords, which I've done. And I need to make sure that I make one that is, I gotta make sure my categories are correct on each of them. Okay. It's literally mainly about things fitting into the spaces. Correctly. Which is why I'm against actually labeling bins in general. And there's another cord that needs to go in my spare cord nib bin. This one is actively in the incorrect bin. Okay, I need to place this. I'm going to place it right in this bin because it's my technology bin. You see, folks, there it is. And it is now nearing time for my lunch break. I find it really sad that I'd rather talk to a camera and convey messages and understand things. I really do. And my number one issue in life as sad as it may seem, is that I'd rather teach things on video as opposed to talk with some dim-witted jackwagon on the street. I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just saying very few people are even worth my time, except those who choose to watch me, right here. Right here. It's a really screwed up world we live in. Screwed up reality. No one likes a farmer anymore that I've found, living in town. They call us a bunch of stinky old dumb, they call us a bunch of stinky old idiots running around in circles in a stupid field. That hurt me. It kind of bothers me. Which is why, quite frankly, there's not one person gonna be brought food from my farm. You want food? You're gonna have to come get it from me in a prearranged location outside the city limits. You don't like that fact? It's just the way it is. But the only thing a city's good for is scavenging through people's nasty, through what people throw away that can really be reused. It's disgusting. People are littering beaches and all this stuff and just hurting nature. And well, I'm not going to be mad at anyone. It's just humans are the only, humans are the only living being thing on Earth that heartlessly harms animals. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. It's a sad reality we live in. Alright, y'all, I kind of got a little, cool little video here for y'all. And understand that, yeah, I chose to take my shirt off, and quite frankly, if you had to do your own laundry and all that in a bathtub, because you didn't want to spend the money on a laundromat and waste the energy transporting it, you'd understand. Alright, so many of you have been wondering, like with a little soda bottle, how to cut a good straight line in it, how to puncture it, get a good straight line. I got a really good tip here. Not sponsored by DeWalt. I purchased all of my tools on my own. I purchased, and we purchased the tool outright, and I purchased it outright. I own it. Alright, so what you're going to need is a small drill bit. And you're just going to drill right into the side. This bit, it's out of true. I'm not sure exactly how that happened. There's that. And the little white flash you see when I let up off the trigger. Totally normal for this drill. And then you're going to need another bit. A little larger. And there's that. And now you've got a good hole started. Right over here, you've got a hole started. Now, you can take your knife. I prefer just to use a butcher knife. Or whatever I happen to have on hand. And then I can literally just rotate it around. And you'll see here, and you'll see right there, I'm holding it just like this. Very decently straight. Whilst it's not perfect, nothing in life is perfect. And if that bothers, and if this not being perfectly level or any of that stuff bothers you, good luck, because this world's full of imperfections. And I really do wish you the best of luck in finding that part of the world that really is perfect. But that's just a little trick right there that I figured I'd show y'all that I discovered. And now I'm going to cut to the next scene. I have a little thing I'm going to set up and show you some importance on math. Bear with me.